Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another installment of Fullback Friday, your weekly dose of fullback content here on the MillerFootball channel. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by MillerFootball. And today we're going to be talking about one of the best fullbacks in the league, Mr. Pancake, Pat Ricard himself. We saw him absolutely ball out on Sunday Night Football, pave the way for Derrick Henry to have a 200-yard game, or damn near 200-yard game at the very least. I've already made a dedicated video to Ricard on this channel last year, but it's so hard to not want to talk about Ricard, especially when there's so many imitations out there. You know, you look at these teams putting centers and other linemen at fullback trying to, kind of capture the magic the Ravens have found. Most notably the Chargers with Scott Matlock putting him back there and literally trying to make him into Ricard with all of the movement and things of that nature. And God loves Scott Matlock, it has not paid the same dividends that Ricard does, because Ricard is truly one of a kind. He is the only 300-pound player that can move like he does, that understands blocking schemes like he does, that understands how to play the position of fullback like he does. And I absolutely love him for it, as I'm sure anyone watching this video does. So I figured it would only be fitting to take a look at, by far and away, in my opinion, the best fullback performance of the week. Just kind of bask in the greatness that is Patrick Ricard and, just enjoy. That being said, I did forget to actually mention it in the video or during the recording. Just know I hand out my block of the week. Block of the week is going to go to the first block that we end up talking about. So rather than saying this is block of the week and then throwing up my stamp, you're just going to see the stamp on the play. Apologies for the confusion, but, I'm short on time, so I don't have the ability to go back and re-record that entire part. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Pat Ricard's performance versus the Bills on Sunday Night Football in Week 4. All right, first play we're going to take a look at here is the big Derrick Henry 87-yard touchdown run, Baltimore's first play from scrimmage. We've got Ricard lined up as a tight end here, and he's going to make a key block to set Henry up. So let's let this ball snap so you can see what everybody's in charge of. So you got Linderbaum going to the second level to take care of a linebacker, same with Ronnie Stanley. Patrick McCarry is going to kick out AJ Epinesa here. Daniel Falele is going to take care of 92. We've got Rosengarten taking care of Greg Rousseau. Mark Andrews, you can't see Taylor Rapp yet, but he's going to have to get upfield, and Rapp's going to come down. He's got to take care of Taylor Rapp, which leaves Ricard to take care of Ed Oliver. If Ricard can get Oliver out of here, wash him out, then that's going to open up Henry to be able to slip through this gap. And if Andrews, gets his man downfield, then Henry's got a touchdown, or Henry's at least got a 20-30 yard run. So Ricard here, you see, does a beautiful job taking Oliver out of the play. We'll take a look at his actual footwork and stuff here in a second. But you see that opens up this massive lane for Henry to go ahead and run through. Again, Andrews has a really nice block downfield, and that allows King Henry to take that for 87 yards. One of his better runs of the last few years, able to outrun the entire defense thanks to some nifty blocking up front. So watch here. Ricard attacks Oliver low, which is the key here. We know it's football, low man wins. Especially hitting Oliver from the side here, huge. Right, he's able to hit Oliver from the side, get low, drive his feet, and get him out of the play. You see, when he initially makes his contact, he does a good job of keeping his stance wide to build up that base, so Oliver can't just, stonewall him and knock him into the path of Derrick Henry here. Ricard does an amazing job of winning, and that really sets up the play, right? No disrespect to the other 5 guys up front, or 6, including Mark Andrews. They all did their jobs flawlessly as well, but Ricard had the most important block on the play, which just shows how much Baltimore trusts Ricard, which I love. And he's the one who allows Henry to not get killed in the backfield, because if Ricard misses this, then all of this is for nothing, right? If Ricard can't do his job, everyone else's jobs don't matter. Like, maybe there's some Ravens film junkie out there who wanted to make a Roger Rosengarten film breakdown. He had a good game. They might bring this up and be like, yeah, Rosengarten did a great job of taking care of Greg Rousseau here, but Ricard, he just couldn't do anything about it. And you look at all the green, hypothetically, right? You could do that. And I bring that up because there is going to be a play like that later with Ricard, where I'm like, man, if this other guy could have just did his job, then Ricard's block would look a hell of a lot better. But regardless, biggest play of the game by far. Ricard is the man who makes it happen outside of the man who actually has the ball in his hands. And it's just something you love to see. It was a hell of a way to set the tone for the night because Ricard had a very, very dominant game. All right, we're going to keep this one brief. Ricard is going to take out two defenders on this play, excuse me. He's lined up as a tight end. As you can see, he's going to cut across the line once this ball is snapped. He's tasked with taking care of Ed Oliver, and he's going to do exactly that by getting low, taking out the legs, sending Oliver over top of him, and then he rolls. And that roll is going to allow him to trip up Dorian Williams, which is going to give Henry the ability to shoot this to the outside and not let Williams impact this run. See, Williams has to dive. He gets Henry's ankle, but you're not taking Derrick Henry down by grabbing his ankle. He's going to shrug that off and keep churning. Gets 4 or 5 on the play. Not a huge run, but I mean, come on. What is better than watching a 300-pound fullback stop 2 dudes from making a play on the running back? The answer is nothing. There was nothing better than that. Except for maybe a well-executed lead block through the middle out of I formation. This is a close second to that. All right, I want to preface this one by saying that this isn't necessarily the most important block of Ricard's career or of the night or anything like that. You know, Henry's going to end up running to the top of your screen. Ricard's going to be blocking to the bottom. So at the end of the day, I drew him all the way out here. He ends up more like in this area. Regardless, the point is, hypothetically speaking, if Ricard doesn't perfectly execute on this block, it's not the end of the world. But you'll see why I want to show this block. Snap the ball, shift Ricard to the left. And this is a tough space to be in. Dwame Smoot, who thinks life's sweet, up until this moment probably. He ended up getting penalized in this game for a little altercation after the play. This is the play in which that occurs after. You see with the way this play is designed, everybody here is blocking down, and they pull Fulele to take care of him, and then Ricard double teams. So for a split second, this guy knows he's not getting, or thinks he's not getting blocked from anybody ahead of him. He probably thinks he's going to go one-on-one with the fullback. And honestly, as a defensive lineman, you probably think life's sweet in that moment. And then you're faced with 2 300-pounders who want to kill you. And suddenly shit ain't sweet anymore. And then those 300-pounders proceed to kill you. And you know shit ain't sweet anymore. And then one of those 300-pounders falls on you unintentionally because that is how gravity works. You see, rewind just a tad. You've got Buddy Boy over here trying to cut through. Fulele pushes him down. He ends up hitting Ricard, knocks Ricard down. It happens. You know, it's football. It's football. If you're not ready to get fallen on in football, you shouldn't be playing in the trenches. So Ricard gets up. Smoot gets up on top of Ricard. And Ricard shoves him a little bit. He's like, hey, buddy, listen, get going. You know, he's like, hey, listen, I'm trying to get up. Give me a little space. And then this asshole, you can kind of see it here. You definitely can't see it from the other angle. He lifts his knee up and fucking knees Ricard in the chin. Like, buddy, it ain't that deep. You got blocked. Live to fight another down. Don't give up 15 yards over it. You know, this happens. This happens. It's okay. You're human. You're not that good to begin with, but you're human. This is part of life. Sometimes you're going to get thrown, or you're going to get 600 pounds of man thrown at you, and you're just going to kind of have to bite your lip and move on. The more I think about it, though, I can't be that bad at him. I'd probably be pretty pissed, too, if I was just picked by the gods to get murdered by 600 pounds of man. Quite unfortunate. But, you know, just a testament to Ricard. You know you did a good job as a blocker if the dude you just blocked gets up pissed. That's how you know you did the right thing, and it doesn't get much more pissed than trying to knee the dude that just blocked you in the chin after the play. All right, let's look at a little Patrick Ricard pass pro. You know, we already know in the run game he is the unstoppable force. Now let's see what happens when he becomes the immovable object. And who is he tasked with taking on here? Von Miller, who I know isn't Hall of Famer Von Miller anymore, but he's had a good start to the season. You know, he's looked like Von Miller again. I hate giving him credit because Von Miller kind of sucks as a person. but he's looked good to start the year. So you see right away, Ricard does a good job getting an inside release because Von Miller is showing that he wants to go inside, right? So he gets that inside release. He's one-on-one with Von Miller. And then you're going to see Pat Ricard is going to come over here like, oh, fuck, we got a fullback one-on-one with Von. Let me help. At this point, Ricard, I will say, is in a bit of a disadvantageous situation because he does have a hand on the shoulder, but his other hand is in the chest of Von Miller. So what impresses me here is Von Miller puts his hand in the chest of Ricard and shifts inside. Pat Ricard is here to help out. So now he's like, all right, well, I'm not getting inside. I'm going to try my luck on the outside shoulder with the fullback, right? What happens? Ricard keeps up with him, stride for stride, gets that little shove there. Von Miller tries to bend. He ain't what he used to be, and he's out of the play. Now, unfortunately, incomplete pass. But Ricard goes beat for beat here with Von Miller, man. And that's pretty cool to see. Again, at the end of the day, this isn't prime Von Miller. But there's not a lot of fullbacks who go beat for beat with any starting caliber edge rusher in the league. You know, it's not an easy task. Not an easy task. One of my favorite things to pick up on or see when I'm watching fullback tape is when fullbacks kind of have to play cleanup. You know, when something happens, a teammate blows an assignment or just gets beat, which is what's going to happen in this play, a little bit of both. You know, sometimes they just got to come in and save the day. Right? And that's what we're going to see from Ricard here. Right out here, our boy, Dwame Smoot, the man who couldn't handle getting bodied by 600 pounds of man, is going to try to make a play here. So the way this works, Roger Rosengarten fires out wide, right? He's expecting Smoot to either fire to the edge or to be setting off more out here. Instead, you've got Rosengarten going out, Smoot going in. That is not a recipe for success as an offensive lineman. So what happens? He gets through and gets underneath of him. And like we said earlier, Smoot right here, he got the best of this tackle, so he's thinking, man, shit sweet. 42's here, and he's going to kill you. So he gets low, pops Smoot, literally stood him up, and then, you know, just did his thing. And that's going to allow Derrick Henry to run this out and then run this in, or run this in, then run this out, rather. And he's going to end up getting brought down by Dorian Williams. But Ricard saves this, you know, allows this to be a 1-2 yard pickup instead of a loss of 4. But what really frustrates me about this play, right? If Rosengarten didn't get beat, you know, if he would have set more to the inside or if Smoot didn't line up correctly, which I will say to Rosengarten's defense, I get why he set out wide. You're trying to open this gap, right? If he steps inside, then he's just making this gap smaller, so I get it. However, with 94, with Smoot lined up on the inside shoulder like he was, you got to be ready for that. You got to say, okay, I'm going to line up, or I'm going to fire off more inside, get to him, and then drive him out and open up the gap, right? If he does that, if he takes care of him, you've got Ricard one-on-one with Dorian Williams. I'm fully confident Ricard can win that matchup. And then Derrick Henry's got a lot of green, and he can get upfield and make a play. But unfortunately, because Ricard's playing cleanup, this is a 1 or maybe 2 yard gain instead of potentially a first down run. All right, next play, we've got Ricard lined up at tight end. He's going to motion across the line and then serve as a lead blocker for Derrick Henry on a toss play. And this is another one where Ricard could have had a really nice block, really important block on a big play, but unfortunately it doesn't come to fruition. And to see why it doesn't, we first have to see one matchup. And that is this right here. Number 16, I believe, is Tylan Wallace or Nelson Aguilar. I apologize. The Ravens receiver core outside of Zay Flowers is a group of guys. You know, I'm sure Ravens fans wouldn't be upset at me about saying that Lamar doesn't have a ton of help at wide receiver. So I apologize if I got the name wrong. It's a group of guys that all wear numbers in the teens. So regardless, you've got a receiver one-on-one with AJ Epinesa. Not a great matchup. Not a great matchup. So you're going to see Epinesa is able to shed and then get upfield, and he ends up tackling Henry from behind. But back to Ricard. Ricard right away realizes his matchup's got to take care of this DB. Does a great job of chasing that DB to the sideline when he's under the impression that the run is going here. right? From the way everybody's blocking, it looks like Henry's going to want to cut up field right about in this area. What ends up happening instead is there's a lot of congestion, and this DB kind of slips Ricard a little bit, less so slips and more so just gets upfield and is faster than the guy who weighs 300 pounds. So Ricard adapts, and he's like, okay, if you're going to go that way, I'm going to push you that way. We're going to create a wall on the sideline that's going to allow Henry to get upfield. Henry's recognizing that. Ricard's recognizing that. And if Stanley can get upfield and realize what they're doing, he can take care of this guy. You get Henry one-on-one with Damar Hamlin. That's a matchup I'd like if I'm Derrick Henry. But instead, Henry gets brought down. Actually, Stanley just takes Benford there, I believe, all the way to the sideline. So he'd have a way of bobbing and weaving. But regardless, ends up not turning into a big run, ends up getting stopped at the line. Yeah, literally at the line of scrimmage because of a backside tackle. But Ricard does a great job adapting here. Henry does a great job of seeing what his fullback's trying to set up. It's just unfortunate that the design of this play saw a receiver blocking an edge rusher one-on-one, which is something I simply cannot get behind. I understand it's something that happens. Doesn't mean it's something I'm a big fan of. This one's less of an impressive feat by Ricard or anything like that, and more of just funny. So we've got Ricard lined up here in the backfield. We'll go ahead and let this ball get snapped. And the key up here is number 54, Spectre. Ricard's going to be one-on-one with Spectre here. Fake throw, run out of the gun. Ricard gets Spectre. Spectre's goal here is to get low, and he wants to push Ricard into Hill. So this guy who's breaking off of Makari or, any defender, but most likely in the situation that we're being presented, this guy, to wrap up Justice Hill and stop this run. Ricard recognizes that Spectre wants to go low. So Ricard says, you want to go low? Okay. And just lays on top of him. I mean, he does a good job of holding his initial block as well. He makes that contact and allows, if I can rewind a little bit, he makes the initial contact and allows Hill to cut this upfield. Ricard does a good job of what he needs to do, and that's just paving the way. Like, good block, but also, it's just funny. It's just funny. That's a 300-pound fullback seeing a linebacker want to go low and just going, okay, nap time. That's some Snorlax shit right there. You know what I mean? He's channeling his inner Snorlax here one more time. Just, oh. I don't know why I find that so funny. I'm sitting here giggling about a 300-pound man laying on somebody, but it's funny. It's funny. You guys will get why it's funny. All right. You guys like lead blocks? A well-executed lead block out of I formation. Little 12 personnel. We're going to toss this to Henry. Ricard's the leading man. Once again, he's got Spectre. He's got 54 he's got to take care of. So he's going to get upfield, get a hold of Spectre. You've got Hamlin one-on-one with Henry in the hole, but Henry, with the way his blockers are shaping up, he wants to slip through here. Ricard, recognizing that, does an awesome job of getting a little extra push. You see right here, he puts his back to where Henry's trying to go, and then he pushes Spectre into Hamlin and gets a two-man block. He blocks two people on that run. Now, they end up hawking him down. All credit to Buffalo's defense. Good job picking up at the end there. But not only does Ricard block two dudes on this play, he's the first one there to help Derrick Henry up. Like, that is fullback 101. Look, he's even throwing his hand up back there like, he's in, touchdown. That's ball game. Or that's the drive. Maybe not ball game at this point, but although maybe it was. I don't remember what the score was at this point. Maybe it was close to ball game. But just a beautiful block. Great awareness by both Henry and Ricard to take advantage of what the defense was giving them here. Just one more time, right? Get the initial contact with 54. Henry, using his vision, sees he's got Damar Hamlin one-on-one, but he also sees a world where he just waits for Ricard to get a little push here, and he can slip behind and get between him and Isaiah Likely, who's setting a nice block over here on a corner. Ricard, recognizing that as well, does a great job of walling himself off. This is key as a blocker. If a ball carrier's running by you, you wall your ass off. You want to make sure your ass is pointing at him and the defender's pointing the other way. Does a great job of that. Ends up blocking 2 defenders here. And when I say blocking 2 defenders, I don't mean, oh, he got in the way of Damar Hamlin here. I mean, you see, he gets a hit on Damar Hamlin. He gets a hand on Hamlin, and he uses Spectre to push Hamlin. And then he's able to keep up. He's throwing his hand up. He's in. Doesn't quite get there, but he does get up to the 1-yard line on a really big run that Ricard did a hell of a job to set up. I will say Ricard set this one up because of that block. That was absolutely huge. Sometimes when you sit down to watch some fullback film, you'll get a play where the run goes nowhere. Pretty sure this play ends up getting dialed up as either at the line of scrimmage or a loss of 1. But there is murder. There is murder. So you see Ricard one-on-one with 24. Already a matchup 24 can't win. So he's going to get up there. Hits 24. He gets knocked a little bit off balance because of what goes on in here. But it doesn't matter. He keeps his hand in the chest of 24. Drives and ends up burying him. And in the process, a hole does open for Henry from Ricard. Again, I said you want to wall yourself off. He's walled off. However, there's a lot of stuff going on here that unfortunately results in this play not going anywhere. But Ricard did his job. Not only did he win his matchup, that's the rookie, Cole Bishop. That's the rookie. Not only did he beat the rookie, he puts him in the dirt. He does his thing. He did his thing on this play. I'm just making excuses to replay Ricard putting somebody in the dirt, because you can never have enough of Pat Ricard putting somebody in the dirt. You just can't. You just can't. It's one of the best things in the league right now is watching Pat Ricard put somebody in the dirt. So I think we're all aware by now, Pat Ricard scored a touchdown in this game. He recovered a fumble. Beautiful stuff, right? But what the woke media won't tell you is Ricard also had a really nice block on the play. So you're going to see they hand this ball to Henry. And Ricard, who's lined up as a tight end here, he is matched up with Dorian Williams. Williams is releasing downfield. So what Ricard's going to do is he's going to see that and use that momentum. He gets out in front of Williams and starts carrying him across the line. You see Isaiah Likely helps a little bit, and the two of them absolutely bury him. So then this ball's out. Likely's got eyes on it. He's going to try to make a play on it. He's not. Rosengarten tries to make a play at first. Likely, I don't know why he didn't try to make a play on it, dive at it. That just seems silly. But now Ricard's got his eyes on it. And when a big boy sees the football, he's going to get his big, meaty paws on that sooner rather than later. So he dives on top of it. He gets credit for picking up the loose ball. But I love the block here, man. Again, lined up as a tight end. 42 releases down. He washes him down the line here. Opens up for Henry. I didn't bring that part up. So you see, this is where Henry's supposed to be going again. Back to the running back. He's supposed to be getting upfield. You're hoping he can beat 31 one-on-one here. And to his credit, he was going to. But 31 also happened to get his hand on the ball. And then you see that shit roll loose to Ricard. Just beautiful play by 42 all around. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Not only does he get to score the touchdown here, he gets the non-glorious block as well, which is about as perfect on a play for a fullback as I can imagine. But anyways, folks, that is going to do it for this installment of Fullback Friday. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, as it shows me you're enjoying this content and you want to see me keep posting weekly fullback content. Spoiler alert, whether or not I get a bunch of likes or not, I'm going to continue posting this. This is my passion project. This is what I want to do every week. This is my favorite day of the week. But, still, the likes are cool. It shows me that people are interested, and it honestly warms my heart to see people appreciating fullbacks. Also, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another installment of Fullback Friday, as well as my other series. I've got my College Football 25 Dynasty series going on. I do other weekly film breakdowns. Didn't get around to one this week, unfortunately, because of some weird timing with some different things, but I hope this Ricard video makes up for it. And also make sure to let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were on this video. Are you impressed by what Ricard did? I'm sure you are. And also, if you have any other ideas for what I could do for Fullback Friday, let me know. I've said before, this isn't just film breakdowns. This is a variety series that reflects the fullback position, just bringing attention once a week to football's finest position. So if you have anything you want to see, definitely let me know down in the comments below. But all that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And to everyone out there watching, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you truly do deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow.
Using that